Well, at 20 minutes to 5, we can now say the decision taken in 1975 by this country to join the common market has been reversed by this referendum to leave the EU.
Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, ladies and gents. This is Mr. Post-Brexit, just commenting on the latest political ongoings. And as it stands right now, the results have just come in from the first round of the French elections. And as you can see, Macron got 23.9% with 8.5 million, Le Pen 21.4% with 7.6 million votes. So it's going to be between those two for the next round, which is wonderful to see, considering that Le Pen wasn't supposed to be anywhere near the front of this queue. She was never going to make it. It was all the Trump and the Brexit scenario where, no, it'll never happen, don't you worry, but it has happened. And once again, the establishment have had a bit of a kick in the balls, which is wonderful to see. So now we've got left Macron and Le Pen, and I'm sick of the way the media in this country are portraying Le Pen as far right Nazi extremist, because obviously she doesn't go with the views of the left and the narrative of the mainstream media in this country. She has a right-leaning opinion, and anyone with a right-leaning opinion is immediately a racist and a xenophobe and a bigot and a Nazi and Hitler, all combined. Yeah, that's how the way the media see these things these days. But obviously, 7.5 million votes is not insignificant in France. So there's obviously some reason in France that people are voting that way, despite being told they're racist and bigots and everything else. People are voting that way because there's a problem, clearly. And unless they address this problem, the vote's only going to get stronger and stronger. Now, as it stands, for the next round of these votes, I have a feeling that because Macron's pro-EU and he's a centrist, I think he's going to pick up all the left-leaning votes because they'll do anything to stop Le Pen getting into power. And I think he will win the next round, and I think he'll win it quite comfortably. Unfortunately, I'd love Le Pen to win and give the EU a kick in the balls it deserves, but I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. I think that Macron will win. So just having a quick look at Macron, and I googled 5 facts about Macron just to find out a little bit about him. See there the results, so I just went on to heavy. He's a socialist, which is kind of weird because we know what socialists are like when you look at Jeremy Corbyn. Hopefully this guy's a bit stronger than Jeremy Corbyn, who's just a weak, limp-wristed politician. He's pro-EU, so straight away he's going to have the back in the EU, because the EU are going to do everything they can to make sure Le Pen doesn't get in power, because if Le Pen gets in power, it is the end of the EU. Another one of the large heavyweight contenders in the EU would pull out and it would be game over. So they will do everything they can to make sure that Le Pen loses, including calling anyone who even thinks about voting for the worst kinds of names possible. The one thing that did surprise me, that he wants to try and strengthen the EU's borders. Well, that would mean getting some kind of reform in the EU, and we know personally from the times that Cameron went out to the EU, any kind of reform to the EU is a no-no. They don't want it. That's why Merkel stood there and then said, come on, everybody come in, all are welcome. And then when they all did come in, she went, ooh, we've got too many here in Germany. Let's make sure that every country has a quarter of their fair share, despite countries, including Hungary, voting against taking their fair share, being forced to have a fair share. And that's how this democratic EU works. You do as you're told. Yeah. So I don't know how he's going to strengthen the EU's borders, because at the moment, you've got 3 ferries carrying refugees from Libya straight to Italy. So, I mean, and the way that the EU have looked after countries like Greece, well, I don't know what he's expecting, but I don't think he's going to do much. And he wants to spend on defence. Now, that's a very strange position for a socialist as far as I'm concerned. You've got people like Jeremy Corbyn who want to do anything but spend on defence, who would rather say, let's make a phone call if we get attacked, rather than try and defend ourselves. But so that's the way Macron is. He's centrist and he's a socialist, or he was a socialist and now he's dropped to Mus. I can't really tell. It's quite hard to know. But this is the fellow who's going to be competing against Marine Le Pen. And then I just googled Marine Le Pen facts, and look at the first thing that comes up on Google. 5 terrifying facts about Marine Le Pen and the far French right. And they are the National Front Party. No, that's not true. They're called Front National. They're not the National Front, because what you're doing there is deliberately conflating the racist National Front group in the UK with a political party from France, which is, and it just pisses me off the way they do this. Deliberately conflating these issues, trying to make people look at what they're not. Right, I've heard numerous interviews now with Marine Le Pen, and she is not far right. Her father probably was, judging by what it's in the past, but she's not an absolute nut job Nazi racist. Yeah, if people take the time to listen to the views of other people rather than just believing everything the mainstream media spews at you, you know, you've got the internet out there now. You can go out there, you can find those facts for yourself. You know, Marine Le Pen's right leaning, definitely. Yeah. And she does have some rather extreme views, in my opinion, but she's got 7.5 million votes for a reason, right? And they need to look at what that reason is. So maybe it's like the Brexit scenario in Britain. Anybody who votes for Marine Le Pen is automatic. So there's 7.5 million racists in France. So I hope Le Pen wins. I really, really hope Le Pen wins. I can't see it with the way things are at the moment. I can't, but I'd love it if she did and kick the EU right in the balls. Obviously, I'm no EU fan. But I thought I'd just have a quick look on the independent side to see how because they're a left-leaning media in the UK, and I thought I would just have a quick look at their site and see how they were portraying the results of this. And if you look, it's just all about Macron. And I knew they would do this. I knew the left would just focus on their little victory and ignore the bigger issues, which they always do. And this is the problem. Their own ignorance is their downfall. And this is why Le Pen has got so many votes. Yeah. Quick picture, a quick mention there of Le Pen, and everything else is Macron, Macron supporters at Macron's rally. You know, everything is Macron leaning, and it's. Come on, give us some fair news, some unbiased news. So I thought I'd check the BBC out, see how they were doing it, and they do seem to be a little bit more. Oh, I wonder what this is. I didn't see this bit before. Is Le Pen far right? Let's have a look. By Hugh Schofield. You know what? I haven't really read this, so I don't really want to comment on it. But I'm assuming that if it's anything to do with the BBC, by the time we get to the end of that, you will think she's literally Hitler. So that's just my opinion on that. But yeah, so as it stands now, the French elections are going to round 2. And it's between Macron and Le Pen. I have a feeling they're all going to get behind Macron because they don't want Le Pen in power. And a lot of the other candidates were left and left-leaning. So I don't think she's going to get the votes, unfortunately. It would be awesome if she did. But that round 2 now starts on the 7th of May. And good luck, Le Pen. Vive la France. I hope you guys win, and I hope you guys kick the EU squarely in the testicles. Thank you for listening, everyone.